Welcome back to the Cosmic Kickback. As always, I got my co-host Nick. My name is Josh. We got our friend Jaden on. He keeps coming back, even though we always say we're gonna. So that's your last time being on.
Yeah. We don't have it said.
I think we work better when it's just us two and you instead of like a whole group, because you're just chaotic.
Yeah, Jaden just be.
Well, last time I was here with the group was
with Elijah. You kept talking side combos.
Yeah,
that's when we started.
You always bring it up.
That's when we started thinking about kicking. You brought it up.
Yeah, you brought it up.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, anyway,
Jaden's back for a special reason. He's back for a special reason. As you know, a couple episodes back, Nick and Michael gave their top 10 celebrity crushes, or like their baddie list, or whatever they call it. So we brought Jaden on because he said he's got a controversial list, and y'all know I'm a controversial guy.
King of hot takes.
I'm the king of hot takes. Everyone knows that. So I got a list of my own here as well, and I put deep thought into mine. So mine is I'm just gonna go back and forth. We'll say both of ours, and after we go through that, we can have Nick throw in some commentary and see what he thinks of the lists.
Right, quick questions.
Yeah.
Where's my hydro flask? Because I'm thirsty.
Camera girl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have our intern live in the building, so if you hear any smacking, she's eating chicken nuggets.
Cue the iCarly laughter or clap.
Yeah.
Sorry, not the laughter. Not the laughter.
Snaps at her.
Yeah. So. We'll get into our list, and then after that, are we talking dreams, or what do we know? What we're talking after that?
I've been wanting to talk about dreams, and
like stuff we've remembered.
Yeah, I've had the past couple months. I've had some really weird dreams, and I've recorded them. So I just want to.
What do our dreams?
Yeah,
mean?
I want to tell them to you. Let me tell them to you like in full, and then get your reaction. And maybe we can even analyze them.
Okay, I got some dreams one or two as well. We can.
Dude, I can't even ask you which one because I titled them like they're movies. That's what pretty much a dream is.
Yeah, that's true. I actually had a dream recently where it actually gave me inspiration to like write a short story. So I woke up and I started writing like the setting and everything. And it was like in my dream, it was like I was acting in a movie. And then I was like, dude, that was a good ass movie. And I wrote
like
down
you were the one acting.
You gave yourself
character.
Gave yourself an Oscar.
That's actually funny you bring that up because I had one where I felt like I was just like in the movie, but just like watching it from like a bird's eye view.
You were like third person.
Yeah,
I have a lot of dreams like that too. Yeah. Okay, so Jay, let's hop right into these lists. Excuse you, Nick. Excuse me as well. I burped too.
What is wrong with this team?
Okay.
Did you hear last episode? Oh, it didn't come out. He was trying to talk and he started burping like crazy. He's like,
last episode in the beginning.
Batman.
Wait, this is...
versus,
oh no, y'all haven't released Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
He pretty much had like the hiccups.
I was like,
at this moment, Batman vs Superman
and
isn't released.
Nah.
As we're recording it is, but by the time this comes out, it's
time.
already out. All right, I got my list open right here. Do you wanna go first or me?
Yeah.
I will go back and forth between each.
Okay.
All right.
So, I added an honorable mention. You know.
Wait. First, let's establish what your definitions of baddie is. It changes.
I just. Oh, okay.
Are these like girls you find attractive?
When y'all said baddie list, I just assumed like celebrities that that are attractive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I was just assuming like baddie was like slang for attractive or good looking. Yeah. So, nothing specific there.
That being said,
yeah. Anyways, so honorable mention. I gave my honorable mention to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Great pick.
Yeah, it's actually a very good
even as like in like the 2000s and 90s. Catch Me If You Can.
Now, I'm not gay. I'm not shaming anybody who is. All respect and love to everybody. But I just think as a straight man, Leonardo DiCaprio is a good looking man.
You can say someone's handsome.
Exactly. He's a very good looking man. He has nice golden locks of hair. Great smile.
I think he's dirty.
So he made your honorable mention?
Yeah.
Okay, I have an honorable mention as well.
It's making me rethink mine.
I had to throw in an honorable mention just because I was like, don't look at it, bro.
I can't even see it.
All right. I just want to make sure you don't, because the number one is a spoiler. Because I switched it.
Oh, yeah.
So, my honorable mention is Linda Cardellini.
Okay. She
played Velma in the Scooby-Doo movies. And she was in Freaks and Geeks, her first time out. She's currently in, there's that Netflix series
Dead
with
to Me.
Christina Applegate. Dead to Me, yeah. She's currently acting in that. She was in, I just saw La Llorona. She was in that. decent.
Jaden.
But yeah, I put her in as my honorable mention just because. Huh?
I'm sorry.
Jaden.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know.
You said John.
All right. So she made my honorable mention just because I was like, oh, I grew up watching the Scooby Doo like shows, like everything. I watched all the. Dude, what's funny?
I'm still thinking about. I'm sorry.
See, this is why I don't fuck with you.
Yeah,
No, I was kidding. Okay.
No, yeah,
Every
mad at
time.
her.
So pretty much I put her, and also because I really like Freaks and Geeks, the TV show.
Dude.
It's really good, and when they filmed that, they were like our age, and we were like seniors or like juniors, all of them in there, and I feel like I would be friends with her, like back then. She reminds me a lot of my girlfriend Emily.
Interesting.
So that's my honorable mention. You want to go to your 5?
Yeah, my number 5 is Denzel Washington.
Is it all guys?
No,
Okay.
but I just thought, you know, like there was nothing specific about the list. You just said baddie list, and that's slang for like an attractive celebrity.
Okay.
I didn't know if it was a female specific, and you know, Denzel Washington, good looking celebrity, great smile, you know, great movies.
Yeah, I love his movies. I think he's kind of underrated.
I do think so too. He's probably one of my favorite actors. He's been in a lot of good movies.
And that ain't cap. Took it off and you said that. Okay. You want to add any commentary? You're good with our list so far?
I mean, yeah, they're interesting. Yeah, I think mine was like the first one that I kind of gave, but now it's making me think in retrospect, like, oh, well, like
I forgot.
there was a lot of people I didn't think about.
You put Billie Eilish as 5.
Yeah, Billie Eilish was number 5.
Okay, I got my 5.
I guess she can be an honorable mention now because I took her off the list.
Oh, interesting.
This is draft 3 of mine.
All right, my number 5, I went with Aubrey Plaza. She's in Parks and Rec and some other movies. I think she's actually a really good actress and is extremely underrated. She's been in comedy things, but if you watch her in Legion, which is a TV show, she's extremely good in that. It's so good.
She's in Legion?
Mm-hmm. Legion is so good. It's a TV show about Professor X's from the X-Men son, Legion.
Yeah, you see the effects in that one are really cool.
It's so good. It has 3 seasons. I've only watched the first one, and I haven't watched season 2 or 3 yet, but it's on my list, and I'm really excited to watch it.
We should all watch it and talk about it.
Dude, we should. Because it's really trippy, because his power is pretty much he has like multiple personality disorder, and each of his personalities have another superpower.
Really?
So he's kind of got like every fucking
That's
power.
pretty OP.
It's like split meats.
Yeah. And she has a special role in it, which is extremely cool. It's insane. Like, and because her part was written for a male, but she auditioned for it, and then they gave it to her because she was so good. And it's insane. Like, it's really good. But yeah, she made my 5 basically, honestly, on like. That was Nick burping. I don't know if the audio picked that up.
Commentary on that.
Yeah, but yeah, she made it off of like acting quality, and yeah.
Dude, there's a video on YouTube with Aubrey Plaza where she smokes weed with these nuns who like do it religiously, and it's pretty entertaining.
Where they do it religiously?
They're like sister. They're actually not. They're not nuns. I think they're like self-proclaimed nuns, and they just smoke weed at their missionary and everything. But it's pretty funny because she's just talking to them. Gosh, I think they. Yeah, it's crazy.
So number 4.
Yes.
Moving on to number 4, I have Audrey Hepburn.
Dude.
Audrey Hepburn.
I'm just gonna come out right now. I put her as my 4 as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, that's actually pretty cool. I don't know if
Would
a lot of
you-
people. Do you think a lot of people know
would you
who
say
Audrey
it's
Hepburn is?
crazy?
Audrey Hepburn is a classical actress from back in the day.
Back in the day.
Like back in the
I
day.
got you with the facts.
I wrote a speech for my speech class, and I
voice.
used a quote from Audrey Hepburn.
She was in movies like from the 40s, like all the way down to the 60s
Yeah.
as well.
Breakfast at Tiffany's. I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's probably her most well.
My Fair Lady.
Seen that one.
Roman Holiday.
Which I've seen that one. That one in Sabrina.
The Nun Story.
Which one?
Dang, that's
have
a
you
good-
seen?
She's just
Nice,
a really
dude.
shitty.
Which movie have
pretty
you seen
person.
with her?
I haven't ever seen Breakfast at Tiffany in full, but I've seen scenes from it.
It's good.
Let me look. I know I saw one, and I didn't know it was her when I first watched it.
Wait until
I think it
dark.
was the Nun Story.
Charade.
By looking at that, I think. I don't know. I know I saw a long time ago when I was younger, and I was like, oh shit.
You know, it's crazy. A lot of like
Dang, dude, this is making me rethink.
a lot of actresses from like
I agree
like the
with that.
40s and 50s, like black and white films. A lot of them are really, really pretty. Like Ingrid Bergman from Casablanca. She's very, very pretty. She's a Swedish actress.
Dude, no joke. Like it's a different age, so that the women are just like built different. Like not even meaning like in
I think they're
like
more
the body type and the image, like everything was just different in that. Like
I think
age.
what it is any photos you see of them it's extremely classy and classical.
Natural.
And it's like it's very it's like so different from what you see now, where a lot now is glamour.
Yeah.
In a way back then was glamour too, but it's also very classy and classical. Like it's
somewhat modest.
Yeah.
God,
I love the classic photo of her sitting with her like gloves on. You know what I mean? And she's holding
yeah.
her
I know what you mean.
OG photo. That actually
This
was
one?
No.
Oh.
That one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They had those long cigar sticks.
Yeah, bro, see?
Oh, the cigarettes.
We gotta get some of those, bro.
I'd freaking turn over and hit you in the face.
Put some crayons in there.
Alright, drop your 3.
Daisy Ridley.
Ooh, we know Jaden has his
No
crush.
surprise there.
This is because ever since Force Awakens came out, I've been like fanboying over Daisy Ridley. So
Ain't more than
Daisy
fanboy.
Ridley is like my number.
You have a shrine.
This dude loves Daisy Ridley. This dude is obsessed. That's all he do.
That's all I do is David.
I be chilling at home and then I'll get a notification. It'll be like Jaden sent you a post from like Ridley Lover like at or something like that, or at Daisy
Some
is Queen.
people got some weird stuff on those fan pages. I don't
Really?
follow any of the fan pages because I
They
think
just
it's
pop
weird.
up.
How would you feel if
Yeah.
someone had a fan page of you and was like that obsessed? Or like they would
I would feel somewhat flattered.
but also kind of weirded out. I wouldn't follow it, but I would just be like, oh, that's cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, but like to a degree, I'd be somewhat flattered.
Yeah.
I would only find it weird until
I'd be
like
fine with it.
until I saw I guess like following me. But if they're just like posting pictures of me, like
What if they're like
So you would think it's
DMing
weird
you?
if they follow you, but not if they post pictures of you.
no, like I like physically
Oh,
follow.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Not on like Instagram or nothing.
All right,
But yeah, that's where like
that was so Daisy really your third. All right, so she went up. She was your 4th when you told us over Xbox.
Yeah.
I thought she'd be one.
I thought she's gonna be 1 as well.
I think after hearing our list, you really thought about it critically.
She has a really nice smile too. And like I saw that one
Smile?
yeah,
Okay,
smile.
I misheard you.
I saw that GQ episode where they did like the 70 questions. She's actually a football fan. I mean,
Football or American football?
yeah, football. No, yeah, like soccer.
Football.
Yeah. Sadly, she's an Arsenal. Our intern is supplying us with nuggets.
We just got a nugget off screen.
Mm.
If you watch it on YouTube, you can see Nick just got a nugget handed off screen. You might hear some chomping behind the camera.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
ASMR.
All right, my number 3.
Remember that video? And they have like the pickles.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry.
My number 3 is Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie, terrific actress. Blonde. That's the only blonde chick actually on my list.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I personally, like, no offense, like, everybody's chill, but I've never really liked people with blonde hair. Like, I've never found them physically attractive. Mm. But Margot Robbie's the only person that I think actually looks good with blonde hair.
I think she's naturally like a dark-haired person.
You think she dyes her hair blonde?
Dude, yeah, if you look at her. Did you ever see it at the Oscars? Yeah, her roots are dark.
See, well, you can have dark roots and still be blonde.
Really?
Well, let's see. Because I'm just going off what I've seen. Margot Robbie.
So you think she is constantly? I think she has blonde. I don't think she dyes it. I know she has black. She's had black hair before.
Margot Robbie, natural hair. Yeah, look at it.
Yeah, that's not natural, man.
Oh, I'm just looking at the photo. See, look, her roots are dark.
Yeah.
So obviously that means like the parts of her hair were like.
It's probably from after she went dark.
I don't know. Regardless, she looks good blonde.
You can. I mean, I'm saying is like you can have dark roots and still be blonde. My dad has dark roots.
Mm.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, obviously this is.
No, I'm
like,
just trying to find out what her natural hair color
It's
is.
blonde. Like you can't.
Whoa.
You can't.
Hey,
you can't
yo.
be like in the public eye that much.
Yeah.
But then how does it change to blonde? Like when?
You can get your hair done.
So her roots are naturally dark, but she like.
Well, this is
lighten-
obviously like really bright brown. Like so is that. Like that's like platinum blonde.
Yeah.
But like look if you look up like these are all glamour like shots when she's on like the red carpet. If you look up photos of her like when she was like a kid or something, that's how you know.
Is it more of like a darker blonde where
Yeah,
it's like
a
borderline
dirty
brown?
blonde. It's like a dirty blonde. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Damn,
look at that.
look at that
photo.
bob cut, yo. Looks like Edna Mode.
I'll throw that up on the YouTube
Oh
channel.
damn.
Okay.
Oh,
So yeah, that's my number 3. Back to you, Jaden. Number 2.
2.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Amelia Clark.
Damn, you bumped her up to 2?
Yeah. Well.
What was she
Yeah.
before? I think
3.
she was. Damn, Jaden.
So
you really like Amelia Clark?
yeah, she's
Yeah.
That's all I do.
yeah, she's number 2.
Yeah, bro. Nice.
Reasoning? You just she's.
Oh,
number
okay.
2.
Well.
State your case.
Okay, so of course I watched her in Game of Thrones. I also watched her in that one Christmas movie with Henry Golding.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen that yet.
Is it Last Christmas or?
Sure.
I can't remember what it was, but yeah, she was in it. Wasn't that bad of a movie. I enjoyed it, and yeah, she's a very good looking actress.
Nice. All right, my number 2, to match your number 2, is Ana de Armas. Dude, there's a ton of fruit flies around here. Ana de Armas obviously was Michael and Nick's number 1. Had to put her at my 2 because, you know, like pretty much everything that we've said already on this, because she's made 3 out of the 4 of our lists.
Mm-hmm.
So everything we've said before is pretty much the exact same reason. She was in Blade Runner 2049. She played Joy, the artificial intelligence.
I just watched that.
You thought it was good, right,
yeah.
dude?
Thought it was better.
Dude, yeah, it's so good.
Because when you watch
I
something,
think I'm
again,
actually watch that movie too.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
I'm telling, dude, I think it's the
What?
best movie of 2017.
I've seen shots from the movie, and like after seeing those shots, I was like, oh my god, these like really
So
good shots, and it like
good.
intrigued me into actually watching it.
Dude,
Isn't it
then
like
the-
quite a long
then
movie?
the soundtrack.
It's long, but yeah,
It
actually,
doesn't feel like it.
it doesn't feel like it. The only
you're
people I've
invested.
heard that shit on it were Emily's parents.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, dog, you guys, I used to have
You think it's
whole-
because they grew up on the original?
No, because they don't even like the original.
Really?
Yeah.
We got to get them on here.
Dude, that was I've every time I've ever talked to them about movies, I've been like agreeing with what they say. They bring good points because they
Yeah.
watch a lot of movies as well.
Yeah.
But I completely disagreed with what they said. They said that movie was boring, slow, and trash, and I was like, dog, get out
Well,
of here.
Is it an action movie, Blade Runner, or is it more of a drama thriller?
There's action
It's
in
a
it.
sci-fi noir movie.
Yeah. There's definitely, the action is better than the old one because they have, you know, better stuff now. But there's one scene. So the Ryan Gosling plays. He's what do they call him in the movie?
Constable K.
Yeah, but what do they call them? He's a replicant, right? So he's pretty much made to go kill other replicants, right? That are like trying to become humans. Or,
So
like,
pretty much
hide.
there was like
And-
they use like these robots for slave labor, and there's like the old model are defective, so they made
Yeah.
new ones to hunt them down.
And so he plays the K guy, and then there's one scene where I love it so much because
Spoil too much. Now.
it's just a scene. It's not a spoiler. He goes and he's trying to I think he gets shot down. He's in his flying ship. He gets shot down. He's in like a junkyard and they're trying to, I guess, like loot it or whatever. And he pulls out his gun, like his little blaster or whatever. And I love it because it's not like Star Wars. You feel like when he shoots, and what's so cool about it is he doesn't like shoot like a human where you kind of like aim. Since he's like technically a robot, it's just like he like aims like directly on them and like pulls it, and then they all get scared. And
He has aimbot.
the way it looks is so cool because it really gets you into the universe.
He looks more like robotic when he.
But he's still later on in the movie you'll start questioning that, which is the whole Blade Runner, even the first one. That's what it's all about, like what makes you human.
Now, do you need to see the first one to see this one? Oh, really? Okay.
You could, but we watched it at Emily's.
I fell asleep. Remember?
Oh, you're a loser.
It was long. I thought it was kind of boring.
Dude, you're a loser.
I thought it was boring.
Hey, that's fine on me, bro.
I woke up.
You
at
will
the
love
end.
this one, dude.
Okay.
No cat.
I'm actually gonna watch this one.
I'll watch it with you again.
I'll watch it again.
I mean,
too.
shit.
I haven't seen that.
Tonight?
I haven't seen that in like 2 years. I'd love to watch it again.
When did you watch it?
Oh, when did I watch
Yeah,
it?
because you just
Like
said you
3
would
weeks
watch it.
ago.
Oh, okay. Well, we can watch it tonight.
I mean, that's fine.
I'll be down.
Dude, you gotta
Do your
watch
number
Uncut
one. I
Gems.
want to hear your
What?
number one. Hang on, let me guess. Okay, you haven't said. You already said Ray.
You know what's funny? 4, 3, and 2, they're all British girls.
I know.
Hepburn,
I
Daisy
said
Ridley,
you like
Lily
British girls that
Yeah.
are white with brown hair.
There's something about like the British accent that
I
like.
think-
not just on females, but even on males.
Did you
like,
put a guy as number one?
No, I did not.
Okay, I was thinking you were gonna put Brad Pitt because you're always talking about Brad Pitt.
He's a great actor. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Good looking man. I'm not gonna Why?
Dude, great looking man.
Dude, in Fury?
Very handsome.
Bro, his role in Fury?
I still ain't seen Fight Club.
Yeah, why?
That's our next fantasy.
Honestly, I haven't really cared to watch
Okay,
it.
let's see your number one.
Dude, Fight Club is my favorite.
Number one, Jessica Alba.
Okay, yeah.
That's because
you like her.
as a kid growing up, I don't know, like
She was your OG.
well, yeah, I would watch. There was this one movie that I really liked as a kid called Honey, and she was like the star in it and everything. And then also she was in Fantastic Four, and I don't know, it was just one of those like like childhood crushes. I guess for like how like some kids felt about like Megan Fox and Transformers. I guess like in the first one, how they like all fanboyed over her.
Is she played the Invisible Woman in the first Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So, yeah.
okay. I was trying to put a face to it. I was like, who's that?
All right.
Dude,
She was
okay,
in a
I'm
movie
surprised
also.
nobody picked. I mean, I don't know if this. Did you give me number one?
I haven't given number one yet.
I'm surprised no one picked Natalie Wood from.
I considered it, but I picked Audrey Hepburn instead.
I mean, she didn't have like a long career.
If I could throw more people in my honorable mentions, I would have put Elizabeth Olsen in there, Haley Atwell, Natalie Wood, Gal Gadot. They'd be in my honorable mentions.
Meryl Streep. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Anyway, my number one, we've been waiting. No one knows it because the other night they were trying to guess my number one.
We
And
guessed it.
You actually didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were gonna get anything, so I just threw out a thing. I did end up putting Aubrey Plaza on my list because I forgot about her.
That was your number one though.
I've said she was to you guys, but
okay.
it actually wasn't.
It was Cap.
I was capping. So I haven't changed this. This has been since I wrote my list.
And we'll be right back after these messages.
A word from our sponsor.
G Fuel.
My top 5, number 1 on the baddie list. I put Emily, my girlfriend. I did.
I thought this was a celebrity list.
Emily's. I know it was baddie list.
Oh, okay. I thought they were just naming celebrities.
No one said that.
That is true. That's why I had it.
Maybe.
Denzel
See, when I was thinking about my list, I was like, okay, I can't not put my girlfriend at number 1 because then that would be like saying like, oh, all these people are more attractive than my girlfriend, and I don't think that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be with her.
Mm-hmm.
You can think someone's, attractive, but like not be attracted to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, if there's an attraction to my girlfriend, like it's got to be above anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about it, and Emily's actually here in
She's
the
the intern.
background.
She's
She
the
wasn't
intern,
supposed to
yeah.
be here actually. So I just want to say I didn't change it because Emily's here. This was my list since day one, 100%. That's just how it. That's how it is.
I think that's very wholesome.
It is very wholesome.
Thank you, Nick.
Dude, my initial thought was that's corny. But I sat here and thought about it and listened to you and I was like, that's what's
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah, that's why when you actually were guessing, you were like, bro, was it Emily? When you were guessing, and I stopped, and I was like,
Ooh.
and I didn't say anything, and then you were like, it is, isn't it? And then Jaden's like, wait, is it this? And I was like, and then I made another face, and you were like, oh wait, let me look, and then you almost had it.
And I did.
You said it, but then you switched up. So yeah, there's the list. We've been waiting. I think we got that done pretty quick too. Last time it took like 40 minutes.
Michael was making his list on the spot.
This dude was just thinking names, bro. He had no list. Get that dude off here, bro.
I like having him on here. He's fun to talk to.
It's like chaotic neutral.
I was
What
funny
is
to
it?
hear.
It's like evil chaos, evil order, like natural,
It's
neutral.
neutral good, neutral evil, and neutral chaotic is the middle.
Yeah. And then it's like
Evil
chaos.
good is like the good evil. Then
We
there's
gotta pull that
Thanos.
joint
God
out.
damn, there's like 2 of these things in here. There's fruit flies everywhere in here.
Yeah. We're shooting in a garbage dump.
Yeah, we're shooting where we usually shoot, but I will say Nick's brother has been using this for like his personal buffet. And this dude do not take the trash out of here. So there's that. We're actually like sitting underneath a ton of
Personal
burgers and
buffet.
fries from weeks leading up. Our feet are like.
I'm getting like secondhand embarrassment because this is still my
I feel
home.
you, I feel you.
Hey, listen.
Hey, it ain't your room.
Yeah, listen. We're doing some renovations over the weekend. All right, we're gonna clean the house up a bit. So yeah, big moves coming to my home. Getting some furniture.
So yeah, all right.
All right, that was
What you
pretty
think of our lists, Nick?
good. Made me rethink mine a lot just because you said a lot of names I didn't think about.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna change mine just because I said what I said.
Yeah, you got it. It's
but,
out there.
Yeah. That's the word.
Eat it. Okay.
All right, so now we're gonna move on to.
You doing dreams?
I thought we were talking about prostates.
We can do that too.
Prostates.
All right. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about our dreams. Do you each want to give a dream,
Sure.
or do you just want to hear like,
What?
Do you want to do that?
I said sure.
Okay, so we'll each give a dream.
That's what I'm talking about.
Aiden, I think
That's why he's MVP.
you want to go first.
Hmm.
How many dreams do you have that we can pick from?
So as of right now, I have 7.
Give us some titles. Do you title them or no?
Okay, only 2 of them are titled.
Okay, give us those ones and we'll pick from which one sounds cooler.
There's one called Tamaris and one called Stranger Things.
I'll go with Tamaris.
You go with Tamaris?
Yeah.
So this one's the story. This is the one I told you about where I was like kind of viewing like a movie from like a bird's eye view.
Yeah.
This one was really weird.
Okay, dude, some of this shit's weird too, but it's like your subconscious, so what can you do?
It's kind of like when Josh like made a short story off of his. I didn't do that with mine, but like the idea I got from it could be a story in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so these men and women are artistic, in a world that is very straightforward and by the books. They express themselves through art, music, painting, poetry, and etc. The world doesn't like the way they act, dress, nor do they approve of their art. In result, they are pressed into captivity under their university. So it's like I remember seeing like it was under like some school or university that was like ran by these like guys who were just like I don't know,
Guys,
aristocrats, I guess you could say.
oh.
Anyways, so yeah, so these very artistic people, they were like held under captivity, like under the university, like in cellars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They were shunned from the world. They lived in an underground cellar. Hundreds of them were down there. They were mistreated, not fed well, and sometimes beaten or killed. These people once knew love, and they loved their own art when the world didn't. Eventually, that love turned to hatred. Years later, these people that were held captive were released into the world after it was ruled that they were now civilized. Years later, other children began to arise with these artistic talents. The world forgot about art after the imprisonment of the original artists. And so these artists, so the ones that were originally held captive, they're like all grown up and they see these kids who are like now artistic. They took those kids and put them like back in like captivity where they were originally. So it's just like now it's about like kids like trying to escape. So yeah, it was a dream I had about that, and it was kind of crazy how I viewed it in the dream.
Nope, bro, stop.
Intern is messing stuff up.
That's an interesting story.
Okay. No, yeah.
That sounds like you wrote that. It doesn't sound like something.
No,
you
no, no.
dreamed.
And I even wrote down characters.
And he kind of did write it.
I don't. Yeah. So the reason why I wrote Tamaris was because the main character who then turns into the antagonist, his name was Tamaris in the dream. And it was weird as I was watching it, like I legit was in the dream, I was experiencing it like in actual movie scenes. Like if I was watching a movie, that's how
in the theater.
Huh?
You were in the cinema.
I didn't feel like I was like watching it in a theater. I felt like I was actually in the movie,
Like
but
you
I
were
was
the
watching.
camera.
Yeah, like I was the
That's
camera.
cool.
That's how I was watching it, and like
VR.
there were like I remember like also like hearing music, like the score and everything, and it was really weird. And I can still remember the face of like the character. It was really.
So how did that make you feel?
Well, I woke up. I immediately wrote it down, and I thought to myself, like, "Whoa, this could be like a book or like a movie." And I thought it could be like some short story. Yeah, and I thought it was actually pretty interesting. And I think Stephanie was actually one of the first people I told about this. We were like, I think we were eating at Cane's. Can't remember. Yeah, but yeah, and I heard this, and I just thought it was really cool. I had to write it down, and I had never experienced a dream like that, like ever or again.
Yeah, I will say. It sounds like your dreams are more structured than mine. Because although it is like, it's like, oh damn, how do you?
Well, that's just one, dude.
Yeah,
I have other ones that are ridiculous.
I have
most like random.
They're not. They do get random.
They don't have like structure.
But no, they have structure and stuff. But what I'm saying is, I always like 99% of the time lucid dream, so I can always like control what I do in my dreams. It's weird though. It's actually kind of trippy because. What happens is at the beginning of my dream, I always realize like, oh, I'm dreaming right now. And I'm like, I can control myself in my dream. And it's like a video game is what it feels like. The best way I can put it. And I can control what I'm doing. And I'm aware I'm dreaming. But what happens then is like, I can't control like, you know how in Inception they're dreaming and they can change things in their world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fire
So that was a cap alarm.
All right.
The cap alarm.
You know, in Inception they can control like their surroundings and stuff like that, like make things move. I can't control that. I can only control myself. So I can go around and do stuff.
Oh, so you can't like make stuff appear in your hand if you wanted to, or
I can do that, but if I'm doing it, I can do it.
Are you saying all your dreams are like this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What happens? The ones I remember are always like this. I can like what happens most often, and this might be because I just grew up playing the games a lot, or maybe I like the character, but I always can shoot webs sometimes like Spider-Man, and I could like pull myself and shit. And that happens all the time, and I could do that. But the dreams that I've written down, that doesn't really come into play. But what I mean is I can't be like, oh, I'm dreaming. And then I could be like, oh, let me manifest Emily over here and manifest Nick.
A hammer.
And then I could like make things happen. I can't manifest things pulling up. If Emily happens to walk in my room in my dream, I can't stop it from happening. Like the things that are happening around me, I can, interact with them, but I can't make them appear.
Can you affect the things that are in? Okay.
Yeah. But I can't like control is what I mean. But I can control myself. But what always ends up happening is because I can't control the things around me, I always end up forgetting halfway through that I'm dreaming because I get into it and I think it's real life because I can't control anything else but myself, which is just like real life. So there's been times where I legitimately will go through and it's like I think this is my life.
Really? And then like it feels that real?
It feels so real.
Like you can see things, smell things, taste things.
Dude, it's been trippy because there's been times where I get like I feel pain and then I wake up and it feels for a second like my leg hurts or something.
And it just goes away.
But then it disappears and I don't feel it no more. It's so weird. But the weirdest thing is what always happens is I know in the beginning I'm dreaming. I usually forget somewhere in the middle. And then near the end I then realize it again because something crazy will happen. And I'm like, I must be dreaming. And I'm like, yeah, I am. How did I forget that? That's how it is every time. And this one, here, I'll read. This happened recently, and I wrote this down because I told Nick briefly about this, but this is my entire, like, big summary on it. I had this dream recently, and what happens a lot of times is I don't remember the beginnings. I'll just kind of, you can't remember how did it start. You're just kind of halfway in there,
Mm-hmm.
So
they said Inception.
Oh, yeah. They did say that.
Like, how did we get here?
That's true. Yeah, I know. Yeah, damn, bro. Christopher Nolan did his homework.
Connecting the dots.
Anyway,
he slept.
Yeah,
Dude was asleep.
So
he wasn't woke. Wait. So was he? He was asleep but woke at the same time.
Yes.
He was slow.
Yeah. So anyway, this is Before I get into this, I will say I never have nightmares or like bad dreams.
You've never had one at all.
I've had them before.
Okay.
But I never have them like consistently.
Oh.
They're just like once every.
I've had
this
sleep
one
paralysis a couple times.
I've never had that.
Totally
I've never had that either.
This ends like a bad dream.
So is this a nightmare?
Yeah, but it's the first one I've had in like years. Like that's why it freaked me out so much.
How recent was it?
This happened like within the last month.
Really? Okay.
And then I haven't wrote a dream down in a while, and this is what made me because I was like, dude, what the fuck? So anyway, this is what I've written. And the way I wrote it is I kind of like describe what's going on, like the scenery and stuff. I didn't write it like yours. Yours was more well written.
Well, I just wrote it from how I experienced it. So
there's construction going on at a corner Valero gas station. The construction has made the inside reach an extremely large, unrealistic size. I notice this and can realize I'm dreaming. They are preparing the inside for an opening. I go in to cut through. I guess I cut through like the construction. But my dream changes mid-dream like usual. So what happens a lot of my dreams is I'll be in Nick's house or something. I'll open a door to go to his room and I'll be somewhere else.
Really?
So I go inside Valero. The inside has become the inside of a school library that I have seen before in my dreams but never been to in real life.
Corner store library.
So I'm now in a library. I've seen it before in my dreams, but never in real life. I'm tasked with grabbing a book and being taught something by a teacher. She teaches as we sit down onto the floor that if we hold the book open and do something I can't remember, what the fuck? I don't even know what I wrote.
Yeah, I know. When I'm writing them on my
because you're like half asleep.
My grammar's ass.
Okay, she teaches as we sit down onto the floor that if we hold the... Oh, she's teaching that if we hold the book open and do something, but I can't remember what it does. Then the book will open up a door. Before my eyes, the book has aided me to see there's a back door. The teacher is explaining what to do and why I don't remember her words. I reach out into the book and open the back door. It's a large open backyard. No fence, just very large backyard with well-groomed short grass. The grass is a sad color, but not dead. It's as if there's a filter over this scene. At the end of this flat...
Oh, wait, can I just pause right there? That legit sounded like a paragraph from a book. I was like, when you were talking about the color of the grass, I was like, bro, this sounds like a book. That sounded really cool, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Do you write this shit?
I wrote this like as right as I was like
You're like
still got sand in my eyes. I'm just like, okay. It's as if there's a filter over the scene. At the end of the flat land grass, there's trees. This end is probably about a half-mile away from the back door I'm peering out of. It's as if we're living out in the woods, but the backyard is like our acres. I have binoculars I use since at the very back end of the backyard, I can see a black figure just standing there looking at me. So there's I'm looking out a back door, which I got to from walking through a book.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this flat grass. And what I mean is, you know have you ever seen where it's like all flat land and out of nowhere just goes into woods? It's just like woods, but it's like switching straight up. Like it's as if going from grass to there's just like trees in a straight line. Mm-hmm. So it's just like big switch. There's a black figure standing there just on the outskirts of the woods looking back at me. I zoom in with my binoculars to get a better view. It doesn't really help since even zoomed in, the figure is so far away that no new features get added to the strange figure. As I take my binoculars off and down from my eyes, the figure is now right in front of me, right in my face like a jump scare in a movie. I yell and scream and swing out my fist as my fight or flight mode starts. My dream ends. I'm now awake. Then I wrote, what's weird about this one is when I screamed at the end of my dream, I woke up screaming like in the real world. The figure seemed to be still standing over me in my bed, just as close as in my dream. So I swung in real life and screamed, but it wasn't really there. Then
punches rocket.
Your dad's like, I made.
No, so this is what I mean by that. I was sleeping on my right side, mm-hmm. facing like away from my wall because my bed is pushed up against the wall. I'm facing where people could be standing, mm-hmm. and I open my eyes because in my dream the thing's right here, and I open my eyes and then I look up, and it looked like there was a dark figure right here, and I literally just like swung at it and screamed, and so I sat up really quick doing this. And then it seemed like my arm like went through it, and then it was gone. And then I was like, "What the fuck?" And I realized I was awake then. And then I was like, "Dude, what the fuck was that?" And then immediately I wrote it. It was so weird.
Dude. All right, that actually sounds really, really crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
You think you were in a dream within a dream, and came out of both of them like simultaneously?
I don't know. Maybe. Dude, who knows? Dude, it's the only time in my life it's because I've heard people say in sleep paralysis they feel like they see a figure. I swear on everything, it looked like there was a figure there.
Like a shadow?
When I woke up, it looked like there was a shadow, like, right there. And then,
is it kind of like those cloaked beings in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Really?
It looked like that. It was like if you were laying here, it's like someone just standing right here.
How tall was it? Shit was huge.
Like 6 foot. It wasn't, like, crazy tall. But what I told Nick is it looked like, I didn't write this down, but I just remember because I told Nick about it. Have you seen Spirited Away?
I have not.
Okay, let me look up a picture.
I probably know what it looks like.
Yeah,
it's been everywhere.
If you've seen Spirited Away, there's this character in Spirited Away called what is it called?
The Ooga Booga.
What are those things called from Harry Potter?
The Mentors.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Ooh, it wasn't that scary, but
yeah, those things suck the soul out you.
What is this?
Quite literally.
And yeah, in the literal sense. No, literally though.
It looks like
the black thing. it didn't look just like it, but the way it looked is it was like a shadowy figure, and then its head though, it kind of like its neck went forward, and then its head was like a big like thing like that, but it was like not connected to its body. It was going forward.
It's called No Face.
Like here.
Oh wait, no, it's called Konashi.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Whoa. Damn, he looks 6'4".
That's what it looked like. That's exactly what
You
it
swung
looked
on
like.
That's
him?
weird
Yeah.
to hear how like consistent your dreams are. How you say like it's always like, oh, you're in the dream, you can't manifest anything, but you can experience and like a change of the things.
How long do they feel?
My dreams, dude, sometimes they feel really long.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This happens in the movie?
Yeah. We should watch it. It's actually really
We
good.
should watch it.
Spirited Away.
It's very
Yeah.
good. Just recently I had a dream that felt extremely long. But it probably wasn't. It was like in my dream, this is how it felt. In my dream, I legit went to bed in my dream. I didn't dream anything, but I remember like then I woke up and it was like daylight and I had another day in my dream. And I forgot what was going on, like what happened in it. But
You didn't write that one down?
no. But yeah, there's been times where it just seems to go on like multiple days.
Really? Well, dude, that sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. It's cool because it seems to me like there's always people talking about how to lucid dream, and I never knew what it was until I looked it up, and I realized it was like people just saying, "Oh, you control what you do," and I'm like, dude, I do that like all the time.
In your dreams?
Yeah. The coolest one I've done is there's been some where it's weird. There's some where it's like I said, I can manifest things like myself, but there's sometimes where it's harder or I can't, and the ones there's sometimes where I go and I'm just OP, like I'm on God mode. I can do anything.
Creative.
I don't know if you experienced them in your dream, but like those ones where like you're trying to run as hard as you
I
can, but you
hate
can't
that.
run, or you're trying to punch as hard as you
Oh,
can.
I hate
Dude.
that.
I had a dream where I
haven't
kept
had
falling
those in
down
years.
and I couldn't get up.
Damn.
And everyone was laughing at me. Actually, no, it was Grace. You know that Grace chick that Omar talks to?
Yeah.
I went to middle school with her, and like she was there, and she was just like,
Laughing.
"What does this mean?"
Oh god.
Dude, we should all fall
Numbers
asleep together. We
ration.
should have a sleepover, right? And we should all go together, like fall asleep simultaneously, trying
Like an
to.
Inception where they're like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Put our
'Cause if
heads
we all
together.
fall asleep, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see Jaden and Josh in the dream. We're all gonna dream different things, so we should see what we dream about.
like try to do it. That'd be cool.
I don't know. I want to.
I mean, we're
I
not
want to
gonna
do.
meet-
We could.
I've heard there's methods to like to where it like makes you lucid dream, like the things you can do before to make you lucid dream. And I know it's more prevalent in people who play like a lot of video games.
That's what
and
I've
like,
heard.
And so it's like sometimes for me, I sometimes lucid dream, but it's kind of like not like a full
I
lucid
think I
dream. Like I
do
can
lucid
somewhat
dream,
control.
but I don't
it.
know. I am lucid dreaming.
I think that's why I lucid dream, because I used to play games a lot when I was younger. Like I played a lot of GameCube games, and then I got out of it kind of in like late middle school, like to high school. I mean, we'd play Modern Warfare and stuff together in our like LAN parties.
Probably
but
wasn't as frequent.
we would do it, but I wouldn't play like I feel like playing stuff like Modern Warfare multiplayer. I don't think that helps you lucid dream. I think it's like solo driven story games, like Batman Arkham games, any games where it's a single player game where you're controlling the character, because that's what it feels like to me. It feels like I'm controlling a character.
Feels like going into team death.
Because sometimes I feel like I'm controlling myself in third person.
The enemy has B.
Like, you know when you're playing like a Spider-Man game or like a game and you see
Really?
it
That's
third
how-
person?
that's how it's for you?
Sometimes it's third person and I control myself third person.
Sorry, let's get something.
Anyway, sometimes I can control myself third person and sometimes it's first person. I had a dream the other night, just last night in fact, where I was walking.
On Sunshine?
Yes. I was walking home, and for some reason there was like an old guy walking with me. I don't know who he was, but he was like clearly my friend. And the dude started getting jumped by somebody.
Holy shit!
Like he was getting
Did you help
jumped.
him?
Yeah,
Okay.
I helped him out,
Nice.
and then we went into a cafeteria, which just happened to be like there. I don't know why.
Something.
No, like a school cafeteria.
Oh, really?
Went inside of it, and then everybody just wanted to jump this guy.
Oh, dude.
I had to fight off all these people, and then I woke up.
Did you fight him off well?
I was doing good at first.
See, he had to have been a bad guy.
I was doing good at first, but then they started overwhelming me, and that's when I woke up. Because near that end part is when I realized, like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, I'm definitely like dreaming right now. And I was like, let me just wake up. And I woke up.
Yeah, I think I can realize scenarios where I'm like, bro, this has to be a dream.
That happens to you?
Because like I said, like I probably lucid dream, but I don't realize it. But then when I'm like, oh shit, I am, and I just like fly away or something. It's weird.
You know what's funny when you say like how like your dreams feel long? Well, for me, it always feels like Crap. It always feels like it happens so fast, but I remember a lot. Like, it all seems like a bunch of glances. For most of my dreams, it just seems like a bunch of glances. But within those glances, it's like long periods of time, and it's really, really weird. So, like, it's pretty interesting to hear how, like, you can experience, like, full-ass days and years.
Yeah, it's really weird, dude.
So, like, you can be in a dream and it feels like hours going by.
It does in the moment, but it doesn't when I wake up.
Relative to Inception.
Like,
when the time is stretched.
Yeah. So. There was one dream I had where it's always the same location. Like, I recognize it, but then I forget about it afterwards in real life. And I always see a boat, and it's like a cruise ship, but it's like kind of twisted. Like, there's not something's off. And I can never tell what it is. And anytime I'm in this setting, because I can't control my settings in my dreams. I wish I could. Yo, was that the ice cream man?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yo, Nick still has the ice cream man go through his neighborhood? Dude, I haven't had the ice cream man through my neighborhood.
Not gonna lie, dude, the freaking tune creeps me out.
Dude, go pull up on
Yeah, I heard it. I was like, whoa, that sounds pretty creepy. Wait, so you said, like, the ships are twisted? Like,
not like twisted as in, like, physically. I mean, like, it's just something's weird.
Oh, okay.
Something's off.
Yeah.
I can tell it's not good. Like, there's evil. I don't know what it is, and it's always a really...
Why are they coming by so late?
Damn, they're looping around over and over.
Oh, you know what it is? The purge by the start.
Oh, word.
We forgot.
Damn. But the,
Shit.
Oh, dude. No, what always happens is at first it seems normal, and it seems like I'm going on a normal cruise. Then I start going around the ship inspecting things, just like, then stuff happens, and it's weird. Then I realize, like, holy shit, I'm dreaming right now. I'm at the fucking ship that I always pull up at. I was like, and then it makes me want to explore parts of it I haven't seen before, because I've never seen this ship in real life. I've been on cruise ships, but this layout is completely different. It's not similar to any of the cruises I've been on, and it's so weird because I always get to this bottom part of the ship where it's obvious this obviously isn't real, because in real life the bottom part can't be open to the water or else you're gonna drown or sink. But there's a room where every time I go in it, there's like escape boats, and there's a door that's like halfway open to the water, and you can go out on there, and every time I get there I get killed. Then I wake up.
Interesting.
Oh, what's up, Nick?
What, you, Nick?
You want a dream of mine?
Oh yeah, it's Nick's turn, bro. Let's go.
Actually, I'm very interested to hear one.
Nick's been building his things up. I want to hear these joints.
How many do you have right now?
He's got 50.
3.
3, nice.
There's high school party time warp. There's the new backyard, and then there's the apocalypse.
What do you think, Josh?
Which one's the longest? Which has the most content?
I think the time warp one has an interesting concept. The backyard one's the longest, and then the apocalypse is just like...
I kind of want the time warp.
You want the time warp?
I'm feeling the warp.
All right, settle in, boys. Sounds fine. Okay, I might say some. This is my dream, all right. I didn't write this shit like months away. So if the strange stuff happens.
No one's judging you, dog.
All right, thank you.
Why you looked at me?
All right. I just look at you, bro.
I
This is why I fuck with you.
Oh my god,
bro. Last night never mind.
We're talking about
I'm not gonna reopen that case.
Yeah.
All right, so this is my dream. It's the high school party time warp. I had it last month, and you want to tell it how it is, or kind of just explain the concept?
It's up to you.
It's your dream.
Okay. So I remember walking through a large Target store with my family and aunt. I don't remember what we were looking at, but suddenly we were in this large Victorian-styled house that was an art museum. I was playing outside, and I walked around to the back, so there's like a balcony, and I found my aunt eating. So I guess there was like a table there, and it was kind of like a restaurant. I asked her about a cruise that we could go on because she travels a lot. So I was like, oh, like, we can go on this cruise. Like, when can we do it? And she's like, oh, I know like a really good vegan cruise in just 3 days.
Vegan
and
cruise?
Yeah.
Was it made out of vegetables, bro?
No, all they serve is
They
vegan
serve as
food.
vegan. Then I remember being in the lobby with my dad, and it's full of this family of like 6 older children, mid-30s, and they all look the same. It was really weird. It's like they were all like identical twins. Yeah. And my dad is speaking to this man about a huge party happening at this house and how it's going to be fun. They're just like talking about parent stuff. And I have to help my dad down the stairs from the museum entrance because he has a cane. and I guess he has a stiff leg. That's what I remember from the first part. Now, changing completely the location, I'm now in the front of this house. I'm feeling really excited, but something is off. So
Was it out of nowhere? You just
yeah,
teleported?
I guess. Like you said, I can't really change it. Yeah, I don't remember when it changed. But I'm walking to this event, like there's something going on at this house, and I see Vicente and Austin from 2016, right? And this is when I think, I'm like, is that them from my sophomore year of high school? And I'm kind of confused, but I still kind of just go with it, because like, I'm like, oh shit, like I know them, like I feel a little bit more comfortable like going to this party. And then there's this big fight going on between Danny and Kim. There's a lot of influence.
This fight, or like they're arguing?
I guess they're just arguing.
Okay.
Squirrel.
It's his fight, so. At a party.
But then Joel's there, and he just calms them down, and they're like, oh shit, like we good, we partying.
Damn, bro, you're not awake, you're dreaming about partying.
It's weird. Hold up. Oh, I lost my place now. Oh, then I walk up to Joel, and I'm like, hey bro, like, good looking. Like, good thing that you pacified the fight or whatever. So, I don't know how. Now it just says I'm a bit high. So I guess some point in the party, I feel like a little bit more off. And it says I haven't drank. So...
Drink what? Is this anything in general?
Yeah. I don't remember consuming anything, but I feel like different now. And I head to the backyard, and apparently there's a big fight going to happen between 2 Asian sisters and 2 other people.
What the fuck is this? No, it's cool. It's just crazy.
And I'm in the backyard, and there's these colored lights. There's like a fog machine. There's a lot of people from high school in 2016, 2015, like that year. And in the crowd, I see Emma. You know Emma.
Your friend.
And the group is training a fighter to take on the 2 Asian sisters. And there's music training, and there's like a bonfire. And everyone starts heading to the front, I guess, where the fight's going to take place. And I ask Emma how old she is. No, because I'm trying to get... No. And she was just like, that's a weird question. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get like a thought of like what year it is. Because I keep seeing people 18. From like when I was a sophomore, and then I see Danny here. I don't know. I was high. Are you asking why me and a dream didn't ask us?
I don't know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
It was a strange way of wording it. But so we ramble on. Whatever. We pretty much figure out like, oh dude, like this is my junior year now. Like this is really weird. No, we just try to. I explain like, dude, like something feels off because like time feels like it's changing. Because when I first went to the party, I'm a sophomore. I get to the backyard, I'm a junior, and I'm seeing my friends from that year. And now we're going to the front yard, and those 2 Asian sisters are getting ready to fight.
You Emma's. Feel like you're a senior now? Or?
I mean, I guess so. Going along. I'm not sure. So we get to the front lawn. Emma's like putting on this like Kill Bill looking suit, and she's like, "I'm gonna fight these Asian sisters." And I was like, "What the hell?" And she pulls out a katana and just like charges at him like Samurai Jack, and she starts getting like beat up. I'm just like, oh shit. So I just put on a jacket too, and I'd start helping her. And then the fight lasts for about 2 minutes. We win. Everything is good again. That's how it literally ends.
That was very sporadic.
Did you kill the Asians?
I don't know. It just says we won.
You vanquished them.
But yeah, that would be a cool movie, right? Like a party that takes... Have you ever seen Percy Jackson? They go into that club and time
Yeah,
warps.
I've seen that.
That's pretty much what it was.
It sounded like you were kind of like walking through your own timeline.
Pretty much.
His whole high school career.
My high school career in like the shape of a party that lasted
Asian girls.
2 hours.
That's all you did, bro. That actually sounds like Nick from high school.
A little known fact: Nick actually beat up 2 Asian sisters. No, I'm just kidding.
Sure.
Where'd you think the Asian sisters came from? Were they twins?
Yeah. I was thinking of them like a Dark Souls boss. There's like music and shit.
Yeah, all epic and shit.
I don't really care about the fight. I just think it was an interesting concept.
Do you think the way we dream, not what we dream, but the structure and like how we transition from vision to vision, do you think the way we dream has something to say with the way we live our lives? Because the way we dream, like from what I've heard already, is like all 3 of us have experienced the way we dream. Like,
yours is like the most put together out of everyone.
Well, dude, that's only one time I've ever experienced it that way. Like as me being the camera in a movie. All the other times.
What if you're just dreaming of being a cinematographer? You're just looking through the lens
No,
like
it's
the
not
whole.
how. It's not how. I felt like I was an actual like
What do you want to do?
like a lens, bro. I felt like I was the lens.
You're a lens.
Yeah, it was really
That's
weird.
cool.
I didn't have a body or anything, dude.
We should write a story.
Could have
from
just
my
been a
dreams.
floating eyeball for all I know.
That's true.
Remember, like from a regular show.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We should
Yeah.
write-
Do you think the way we dream like has something to say with the way we live?
Maybe. I know for a fact that it's got to be the video games I played when I was younger. The reason why I can lucid dream. Like if I didn't play games at all, I probably couldn't.
But if
There's
you
no
think about
way.
it that way, then wouldn't you have like I guess an ability to manifest things? Because I know in
I
games you
can.
can do that
I can.
in your dreams.
Yeah, I said I can, but I said I can't like make a house disappear and make a new
Oh,
house.
okay.
I can, like, and I said sometimes I can, sometimes I can't.
Build like Fortnite.
There's been times where I've been able
I'm at the top of the
to.
map.
What's weird is I've never, and a lot of people experience dreams like this. I've never had a dream about being able to fly, and I feel like a lot of people have that. Apparently, it's a common dream.
I haven't.
I've never had a dream where I can fly. The closest I've got is to where I'm like swinging around a city like Spider-Man. But I've had dreams where I can jump really far.
like Hulk.
Yeah, and I can like just it feels like I'm flying for a second, but I'm going down. You know, it's like a big jump. Like I've had stuff like that, which I'd consider that manifesting something because I'm making something happen. I've had like just I felt invincible because especially when I realize I'm dreaming, like anything that happens to me, I can make it stop. I can make it like if someone's trying to attack me in a dream and I'm aware I'm dreaming, I legitimately can just like backhand them and they can like freaking light on fire or something, and they're just gone.
Yeah,
They can like Thanos snap.
that's really cool.
It's crazy.
I think they're also still doing research like nowadays to see if they can record dreams.
That'd be crazy if they could.
Dude,
But they're gonna expose some dudes.
see what they're dreaming about.
What's it gonna be a crime now to dream that like
Oh yeah, right. You're gonna be like,
you rob
he
someone?
sexually assaulted me in my dream.
That's happening.
said
People dream that that's happened to them, and then they get in trouble.
How?
Really?
No, I mean like this lady dreamed that like this guy raped her, and that was not the case, and she really believed it, and that guy got prison time until they exonerated him.
What the fuck, dude?
Was his record cleared?
Yeah, but his
Better
life isn't
have.
the same.
That's true. Yeah, you can't buy back that time, dude. Like, that's
You can't compensate for like ruining someone's
wasted
life.
time. Yeah.
I mean, give me a lot of money, maybe you can.
Even then, all that amount of money, you can't buy time.
If you let me
You
meet
can't
Justin
buy
Bieber,
time, but you can make the rest of the time you have better.
It's true.
No.
It's very true.
You should be in the government, bro.
I've been saying.
Government.
You should be a prime minister. Dude, throw Torrent?
It's very interesting to talk about dreams. How many do you have documented? I now have 7.
Do you want to hear my backyard one?
Documented?
Yeah, like in your.
I only have like 3
notes.
or 4.
Really?
Actually, wait, no, I have more. Where's my phone?
Because I know for me, like right when I get out of a dream, I usually just go straight to typing.
I don't do that every single time. Sometimes I forget to do it because I'll wake up like halfway through and I'll just be like, oh, I'm gonna go back to bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was a time where I was doing it more frequently. But I don't have 3. I have like 5 to 7.
I have one. This one was weird. Oh, I have
Yeah,
one,
that's
Josh. I have this one as the Stranger Things one. Gosh, technical difficulties.
You good, bro? So push it. Hold it. Is it upside down?
Let me see it.
It is upside down.
I tried putting it the other way.
Like that. There you go.
Damn.
Are
It's all good.
all y'all's interns here like this?
On my what?
Are all y'all's interns here like this?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, Josh, the one that I told you about that's titled Stranger Things, that one has you and Cody in it.
Are we chilling?
You want to save it though? Because
Huh?
I want to do a whole episode where we just talk. We could do that on the 4 hour.
It could be a more deep episode. This is just like touching the iceberg.
This one was weird though.
Ooh, how weird.
Pretty.
Cody dead?
Okay, this is the backyard.
No,
one.
we're running from people though.
Fucking saga
Can I
though.
see my phone, please?
Oh, and I always write down who's in my dreams, like the characters in my dreams. I always write that down, like people that I know who are in my dreams. I always like leave a list.
Can I see how you
characters.
structure it, like how you write it? Because
Yeah.
I write them down as I like am experienced.
I have 5.
Dream number 4.
I don't title mine at all.
I was
Yeah,
in a
just put
house
dream
with a
number 1,
bunch of
2,
other
3, 4.
Asians
I just-
and Filipinos.
Yeah, that one was weird, dude. It was really weird. I was in a house.
Yeah, like with
and
the
pretty
gang.
much no, yeah.
It's like
I was
Squad if we were like.
I was in a house and they started clowning me for not being like I guess Asian enough.
Dude,
Do you want to hear the whole dream? It's actually pretty funny.
Go.
Okay, it's a funny one. Okay, so
Sounds like a skit.
so
bro.
I was in a house.
Asian.
I was in a house and a bunch of other Asians and Filipinos came into the living room and were asking me questions and getting ready. They were like getting ready. I don't remember what
They're
for.
getting ready, like
Yeah.
they're preparing their questions.
No, like getting ready to like leave or something for some big
Grabbing their keys and
event.
stuff.
All the young adults sat in the living room and started having this class called Asian Sciences. So they were like legit about to have like a class like in that living room.
That's so Asian.
They told me to get out, and I told them I already took that class as a joke. I ended up leaving. Fast forward, I get home. I get to an argument with my parents for failing a class. I end up getting kicked out of the house. I'm outside getting ready to drive away. My coworker drives up to the house, and she's arguing with her mom. Something about not going to college. And anyways, she ends up asking if she can stay at our house, and my dad agrees. I take her to my brother Lee. Dude, okay, this one's very random, dude. Oh, what the fuck? There's no structure in
my
this
brother
one.
Leon's house.
Obama
shit.
appears.
Obama pulls up.
Okay, so yeah. Anyways, so she got kicked out of her house. My dad lets her stay at our house, and she just stays in Leon's room, and that's pretty much it. Oh wait, Anakin pulls up.
What?
Yeah.
What
Character?
the fuck is
So
this?
after my coworker, like, she comes into the house and she stays in Leon's room, and my dad asked me
As
if
a
I'm
coworker, now you're so the people you work with, they were all Asian.
Yeah, I don't remember what coworker it was though. Like, I don't. I just wrote down coworker because it wasn't really that significant. Anyways, she stays in Leon's room, and my dad asked if I'm gonna go inside, and I said no. I was just kicked out for failing a class. I drive away. I then end up walking up the street, and I see a dog. He's walking with me. I hop over the fence of a neighbor's house and see this rich lady getting angry for this neighbor's dog going crazy. She was just being a bitch, though. I wrote that down. I continue.
In his dream, he's like, "Well, she just."
No, bro. I remember this one. The dog was just chilling, bro. And she was a Karen, bro.
She was a Karen.
Anyways,
They
I
exist
continue
in the dream
walking.
world.
I continue walking, and I feel very alone and just depressed. I see firefighters. Dude, okay. I got kicked out of the house, bro. What? I'm not gonna be fucking singing in rainbows and shit.
I mean, yeah, dude. Imagine being kicked out of a house because like your race
I'd
didn't
be
accept
chilling,
you.
bro. I'd be chilling.
Just like, bro, this
Anyways,
guy's not white
I see
enough.
firefighters pull into the neighborhood for some reason, and I acknowledge them, and they acknowledge me back. I get to the top gate, and all of a sudden the gate flies open, and I'm force pushed to the ground. I see the ghost of Emperor Palpatine walk towards me. He looks towards Anakin, who is now standing next to me, and says, "I know what you've been thinking about, Anakin." He looks at me and says the same thing, and the dream ends. This one was very, very...
That just seems all over the place.
It was very random.
That
I'm
seems
not
like a
gonna lie.
normal dream. Most dreams tend to be very all over the
Yeah.
place.
Damn,
bro.
I think that's the only one, though, that was like... Gosh, out of all these, that was very, like, sporadic.
Dude, this guy slid.
Oh, my gosh.
Dude.
Oh man, dude, dreams are crazy.
God, it's just like...
Oh, that's crazy.
I wonder, like, what the study of dreams is called.
You can't.
It's when
Probably falls under, like, neurology.
when I took a psychology class, we talked about it for a bit when we were talking about like REM sleep and like the different stages and why we dream.
Well, that's the thing. If you're studying dreams, would that fall under, like, psychology or neurology, where you're studying the brain? Both?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's weird because you can't. There's not really a good way to study dreams. Like we still don't know how it works or why
what
we
even
do
is
it.
that?
You know, we can know what happens to our dream, like what areas light up when we're dreaming, but we can't explain why or what. There's crazy theories and shit. Like some people are on the spectrum where they think when you dream you go to a different universe and shit like that.
Okay.
I know somebody. I won't put names out there, but I know a couple people. I won't.
God damn.
I'm not shitting on their beliefs. I'm just gonna say I disagree. I have my own beliefs, my own opinion. You know, that's
I
normal.
already disagree.
Okay. But this is their this. Some people think that when they dream,
For name dropping, bro.
no,
Maybe you've been scared before.
they believe that they can, or what it is it's them projecting their soul out of their body, and then they're living in the same world, but it's like everyone's asleep, and then what they're
in the spirit world, like from Avatar.
yeah, pretty
I
much.
feel like that experience would be like more dramatic.
I feel like you just-
But they feel like they don't know. Most people don't notice that's what it is. They think everybody thinks a dream is just in your head, but it's really your spirit out, and everything you see is like the spirit world. But you don't notice anybody asleep because they're just asleep. I guess that's what they think. Some people claim they can control it, and they think that they can. Some people I've heard that you can look it up online. People think that they can control it, and for example, let's say I spent the night at Nick's house and I fell asleep here in the bed behind me off camera.
Mm-hmm.
They say I could then manifest myself and I can walk over to Nick and just like look at him sleeping, and I could like jump in on Nick's dream.
Using that logic, would then like daydreaming just be you entering the spirit world while you're awake?
I guess.
Dang, daydreaming too. That's just like a mild form of dreaming.
Well, what's your theory? What's y'all's theory on what dreams are?
I think it's just pictures going through your head.
Yeah, I think it's like when you fall asleep, but your brain's like working, and all the stuff that you like interact with and see throughout your day, it's all just kind of coming together and making a random story.
I think it's a mix.
Doesn't really have like structure.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of things you see in your day, and then also could be things you saw a long time ago, things you may have seen in movies, TV shows, just anything you've ever seen.
It's like when you're asleep, your body does certain things when you're asleep. You know, like when you grow or when you're a kid. So the brain has its own processes when you're asleep.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like, if you think about it, your whole body can fall asleep, but the only part that really doesn't, I guess, is like your heart as well as your brain. And if like your brain just like went to sleep, pretty much that's brain dead. Like you just be exactly. So it's like always working. So that's probably
that's
that's probably just what dreams are.
It's a way to keep
the brain named itself.
It named itself, and then I realized it did so.
Who
named the brain
though?
I know, but
the brain named the brain.
You'll find out on the next.
What's even more crazy?
Episode.
What's even more crazy about the brain naming itself is that it was surprised once it discovered its own name.
I just said that.
Dude, that's so meta.
We'll figure it all out on the next Dreamcast episode.
Yeah,
sponsored by
Suicide Squad though.
Sponsored by Sega.
What?
There's a Sega Dreamcast.
Oh yeah,
console.
That sounded familiar. Man. I was like, what?
So yeah, I would love to do another episode where we just talk all on this. But next time we're gonna watch Suicide Squad and review that. I'm sure we're gonna. That's gonna be the first one we shit on. There's parts of the movie I think are okay. There's other parts that are just like.
From what you remember, do you think it's like an overall bad movie?
When I first saw it, I really liked it, and I don't think I've seen it since then.
No.
But I feel like every movie I see, unless it's extraordinarily bad,
when you rewatch it,
I go out of the movie thinking that was pretty good. You know, like it was all right, or like that was really good. Those are my only thoughts. I need to sit down, take some time to think about it. Because when I first came out of Rise of Skywalker, I thought it was really good. Looking back on it now, I wish there was changes to it to make it better. I really like The Last Jedi now. I didn't like it too much when I first saw it, but I really like it now. Yeah. Like I still really had fun watching the ending, but in the time I didn't like how Snoke died so easily when I first watched it. Now I've kind of just accepted it, and since I know it's part of the movie, because I don't know,
he's not that significant either. Think about it.
Yeah. He just kind of.
How did this turn into Star Wars?
He's a puppet. He's a puppet.
It's weird looking back on it now, but I do think that's my favorite one out of the new trilogy.
Bro, that's like on the last like movie of the original saga. Like they're just like, oh, Darth Vader's been a robot this whole time. The real guy. It's Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar. Honestly,
would you have preferred that,
dude? Honestly.
I would have preferred that.
I think that
shit would have been crazy.
If that fan theory came true, that Jar Jar was the Sith Lord.
His eyes be
I
yellow.
think that was the idea.
And he like, dude, he jumps high, like crazy, crazy heights that like his species cannot jump at, and
they can't.
Apparently, I
even
watched
in
a
the
video
game,
on it.
he's the only one that can like triple jump.
Yeah, and the only other people who could jump that high are also like other Jedi. Like you've seen Anakin and Obi-Wan like force jump, like, crazy high.
I don't know, dude. Nick. We can talk about this more. I have an episode idea we have is we want to talk about a mix of like films that never came out or like rewrites or like what could have been. I have a lot of lists.
You can act them out.
No. I've made a list of things and I'll read them to you and then we can talk about, because it's a lot of movies.
That AR cut sounded really good.
Oh yeah.
From Suicide Squad.
I'm talking about more so like there's one on here you might enjoy. There's an Indiana Jones one I found. Like almost came out in 91.
Whoa.
But it ended up getting rewrote and changed up.
That's after The Last Crusade, right?
And it never came out until they made the fourth one years later in the 2000s. And it's not the same story, but it manifested from that original 91 script.
Is that script really good?
I don't know. I'll read it on the episode. Come here, make sure to subscribe so you can be notified when we get into those. There's a lot of films that have stuff like that.
That Rise of Skywalker one sounded really fucking cool. Yeah. That one is probably...
I have a list of like, I think like 5-6 movies and stuff like that.
Oh. After you've read that to me, like...
Then it made you think like, damn, they could have got that.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I still love the movie Rise of Skywalker.
You like your girl Rey.
What?
I said you like your girl Rey.
I like the sequels, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you like Rey. You like her character.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Why are you taking offense?
I'm not.
What you mean?
I'll be right back after these messages.
Yeah.
We're gonna fight real quick.
No, but like after hearing that script, dude, like I just wish that could have like been seen.
I would have loved to see it, man. Damn, that's great.
I don't think they're gonna rewrite the whole trilogy like Christian was saying.
Oh yeah, I did read the rumor. There was a rumor going on about that for like the last week.
I don't believe that rumor,
but it was never confirmed.
Because I think still they're not perfect, but a lot of people worked hard on that, and like that's just gonna be disrespectful to Carrie Fisher. Fucking Harrison Ford came back, and I also think
didn't they make him come back just to?
That'll be the first time something like that ever happened, where they just said, you know what, fuck those last 3 movies we just spent billions
if I was
on.
in Carrie Fisher's family, I would be.
Well, if you think about it, that's what this trilogy did with like books and comics. They pretty much said, "Oh, okay, the rest of this shit."
But those are cheaper. They're no offense to the people writing.
They're not as
like at the time it was cool because they were part of the universe, so it expanded it a ton. But then the reason why they're no longer canon, and I get it, because we would have gotten like the Mandalorian or stuff like that, because they're like, oh, we can't, because we don't know if these characters are dead or whatever. So it gives them free reign, a whole open like slot to do whatever they want with the series now. Otherwise, they would have had to think about all those hundreds of books, and I get why they did it, and I can get the annoyance of people that read all those, but the majority, let's be real, the majority of the fans haven't read all them, so they were just happy for more movies. And in my opinion, I think film and movies, I think it's the purest form of showing creativity or something. Like books are great because there's a lot of detail expressed in them, which you can't always show on film because of the length. You can't make it really long, but I just think seeing things, acting out like it's a real thing. Things. Yeah, it's different than reading a book or a comic or something.
A film is like the pinnacle with like music, writing, visuals.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's the best manifestation of all of that creativity.
It like touches most of the 5 senses.
I've been saying.
Imagine if you could smell a movie or taste it.
No, that's 2050.
That'd be really cool if you think about it. That'd be like, honestly, that's VR.
Just like in the Starlight Pit. It's like, oh god, it smells like shit, dog. Taste that.
It's pretty funny.
Isn't that what 4D is? Like Shrek 4D.
Shrek 4D? Really?
You know what I'm talking about? Shrek 3D? No. Dude, at Universal, it's
Shrek
like it's an attraction. 3D is 3D, not 4D.
Oh, where they kind of like shoot stuff at you or whatever?
Shrek 5D.
I've seen movies like that too, where like there's 3D.
He comes out in the crowd.
Oh my god. Alright, so we're gonna wrap it up?
Yeah, it is what it is. And we'll see. Jaden, close us out since you... Did you even open us?
No, I didn't open. Josh did.
Close us out, bro.
Yeah.
Alright. Emily's getting tired.
She's been holding the camera the whole time. We don't got a tripod. She's just been holding it steady.
So this is Jaden, your friendly neighborhood guest, signing off the Cosmic Kickback, saying good night, good morning, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is, good afternoon. And Nick and Josh will see you on the next episode.
What the fuck? Alright, bye.